Nazis, we brought home the truth about Operation Paperclip. They weren't supposed to make it out of Germany, but we gave them new names, new homes, new jobs at NASA. This is the real story of Operation Paperclip, when the US government secretly smuggled over 1,600 Nazi scientists into America and buried their war crimes to win the Cold War. In 1945, as World War II ended, the world tried to make sense of the horror it had just witnessed. Germany was in ruins. Millions were dead. The Nazi regime had collapsed. But behind the scenes, a new war was already beginning. A cold one, with a new enemy, the Soviet Union. Both the US and USSR were desperate to control nuclear weapons, rockets, and advanced military tech. And Nazi Germany had the edge. So instead of putting Nazi scientists on trial, the US decided to recruit them. Quietly, secretly, the operation was called Paperclip, named after the literal paperclips used to attach sanitized biographies over their criminal records. We weren't bringing over lab assistants. We brought over SS officers, torturers, men who had overseen human experimentation and built weapons with forced labor. To make them usable, the US scrubbed their files, erased Nazi affiliations, and labeled them safe, all in the name of beating the Soviets. The scientists were flown to America, given housing, jobs, even new identities. They were placed at top universities, labs, and government programs. Many worked at White Sands Missile Range and Fort Bliss. Some helped build intercontinental ballistic missiles, the kind that could reach Moscow or New York in minutes. Others joined a new race, not for weapons, but for space. The most famous of them, Wernher von Braun, a former SS officer who built the Nazi V-2 rocket. The V-2 killed thousands and was built using slave labor from concentration camps. Von Braun's team used prisoners from Mittelbau-Dora, where the death rate was one of the highest in the Nazi system. But here, in America, he became the father of the US space program. He designed the Saturn V rocket, the one that took Neil Armstrong to the moon. The US knew his past and chose to ignore it. Operation Paperclip was a cover-up at the highest levels. Files were classified for decades. Some documents were destroyed. Others were redacted beyond recognition. In many cases, known war crimes were ignored or dismissed. Intelligence agencies argued that their value outweighed their past. They weren't seen as Nazis anymore. They were now Cold War assets. And the victims? Forgotten. Operation Paperclip helped the US dominate in science, defense, and space. But at what cost? We may have won the space race, but we did it with rockets built by men who once served Hitler. Their war crimes were buried beneath government stamps. Their pasts classified. And in the shadows of every moon landing photo is a folder stamped Top Secret.